It was directed by Christian Marquand with a screenplay by Buck Henry, based on the 1958 novel by Terry Southern and Mason Hoffenberg. It's become a cult classic, although I should point out it has not exactly aged into a polite dinner guest. The subject matter is a lot. But if you're open to late 60s cinematic weirdness, this movie very much shows up wearing bell bottoms, holding a hookah, and asking weird questions. Even Roger Ebert said it was a lot better than you might expect, while also noting that it missed the, quote, wild abandon of Terry Southern's novel, which feels fair. This is the kind of movie where even the positive reviews sounds like it's stepping carefully around furniture. I'll put a link to the trailer in the description. View at your own risk. Or don't. I'm not your guidance counselor. I'm just the guy putting RFID stickers on strange DVDs so a vending machine can understand them. Let's do a little play-by-play here. I'm going to load by title, and I'm going to start typing in Candy, and then we'll do a little search OK, and we found some titles already in the database. I need to find Candy from 1968. It looks like it's right here, so we will pick this guy. Same case and everything. Dude, this is great, right? It's already in the database. I'll accept all of the defaults. And now it's going to put the DVD. Okay, here we go. We're going to put it in there, and it's going to... What? What? Take it. Why aren't you taking it, bro? Is something wrong with this thing? I'm going to try even harder. Here we go. We're going to... Okay, we're out of our menu. We're going to click next. All right, loading. Please close the DVD case completely. It is closed. All right, putting it in, and take it. Come on. So what is happening? You keep it in there. I don't know. Even the machine is like, I object. I don't want this in me. Oh, that's what she said. Huh. Let's try examining one of the cases that we've had in the machine for the last decade. I'm now suddenly paying attention to the fact that there's a metallic sticker on the front edge labeled this side up and insert. That's very helpful. This could be how the machine figures out whether you've inserted the DVD case in the correct orientation, instead of just angrily accepting random plastic rectangles from strangers. So we're going to move forward with that theory and grab some aluminum duct tape that I have on hand, because of course I have aluminum duct tape on hand. I'm not saying I'm prepared. So if we cut a rectangular piece roughly the same shape as the original sticker, I'm betting the machine will accept our raunchy little DVD and allow it to join the robot library. The first challenge is removing the backing from the tape, which apparently does not believe in separation at all. This is where high-speed footage becomes essential, because watching me pick at the corner of reflective tape in real time would be considered a public service announcement against hobbies. Eventually, I pry the backing off, and I make a last-second executive decision. Instead of putting the sticker on the outside of the case, I'm going to stick it on the inside in the same position as its elder brother. Same location, less visible, fewer questions. Then we jump back over the kiosk and we try adding the title to inventory again. It only takes a moment to get into admin mode, search the existing database, accept the default settings, and politely ask the machine to please take the disc. And it does! It actually takes it! Ha! We have officially added a new title to the DVD Now inventory, which means we can now go into the rent or buy menus and see if it shows up like a real movie. And there it is. And just for fun, let's peek inside the machine and see where it decided to put the disc. Once the front slots fill up, there's storage space in the back, and sure enough, we spot our red case sitting neatly in a slot ready for service. The robot has accepted the offering. Good times. Challenge 4. Teaching the kiosk that movies continued after 2014. So, now the machine could boot up, run its own backend, process fake transactions. There was just one problem. The movie database updates stopped around 2014, which means, according to this machine, the entertainment industry got to Frank, starring Michael Fassbender, and then everyone packed up and went home. The database already had 200,000 rows, which sounds like a lot until you realize it has no idea what John Wick is. So, the new challenge was, how do we catch the database up to the present day? At first I thought we could program a web page that let you look up titles and add them to the kiosk. But then you'd have to look it up again on the kiosk to load the disk, and I tried that. I hated it. We need a source of truth, and not only for DVDs, but also Blu-rays and 4K discs. Eventually, the best source turned out to be a website that had all of these things. I'd mention which one it is, but then I'd have to use that Men in Black neuralizer on you. So this site has monthly release pages with titles that link to a detail page, and that detail page has the important stuff like UPC codes and release dates and genres and actors and descriptions and cover images. Basically everything the machine needs to add a disc to the library. So we built a harvester, which sounds illegal, but in this case, it just means a script that gently reads public pages slowly, politely, and with the energy of someone trying not to make eye contact with a server. The idea is simple. For each month, it visits the monthly release page, finds every title, looks for every physical release with a new UPC code that is not already in the database. Eventually, we got tired of manually running 1 month at a time because there are a lot of months between 2015 and now. So, we made a batch script that runs a month or two at a time, waits between each month, and then slowly walks the database forward. Not aggressively, not hammering that website, just a polite little catch-up process. And it worked! So, now, when you search the database, it knows the world kept making movies after 2014, which is good, because the whole point of this project is not just to make the kiosk turn on, it's to make it useful again, and apparently that requires building a tiny movie data immigration office. Challenge 5. Updating the kiosk with a USB stick, because apparently I enjoy making problems portable. We have a final boss to deal with today. How can we keep the database updated? And I'm not talking about just our machine, but anyone who owns a DVD Now machine that wants to use these new features. We don't want the official update process to be Step 1, remember these 47 commands. Step 2, do not mistype any of the scary commands. What we wanted was something normal, or at least normal adjacent. We made the USB stick use a very specific folder structure and a manifest file designed to be recognized by the kiosk as saying, "Hey, I got you some more data, bro." We added a startup update script that does a few things. First, it waits for USB storage to appear, and once it finds one, it mounts it. It looks for the DVD Now update folder, checks the manifest, checks whether that version has already been applied, and then starts copying files. And of course, before it overwrites anything, it backs up the old file, then it copies the new files into place. Then it fixes file ownership and permissions. And then it records that this version was applied, so it doesn't keep applying the same USB update every time the machine boots. Whew! So, with each update, you'll get a new database and the newly updated cover images or whatever else is new. That was the final piece that will make this machine feel usable again. Not just repaired, not just hacked back to life, usable. Challenge 6. Are we going to share this or what? As if on cue, someone reached out and said they were thinking about buying a DVD Now kiosk in their hometown and wanted to know if we could help. Are you kidding? We've been preparing for this moment like all week. This is why you spend too much time reverse engineering a defunct DVD vending machine instead of doing, normal household tasks. The call has been answered. The robot disc cabinet community is forming. We mailed them Clone Drive with our new hybrid software setup and even threw in a custom boot screen because if you're going to revive abandoned retail tech, you might as well add a little pageantry. They swapped in the drive we sent, and it worked. Just like that, a second DVD Now kiosk was brought back into the fold, and honestly, that's dangerously encouraging. They're even looking into getting the DVD Now aluminum stickers reproduced, which is super cool, and also the exact kind of detail that tells me these are our people. Meanwhile, they're sending us their original drive, so we can clone it too, just in case It has newer updates or different database entries or some weird forgotten kiosk treasure our machine missed when it was retired from public service. So, what do you think? Would you use one of these machines to store your physical media collection? Because that's exactly what we're doing. This is no longer, can we get it working? This is now, how many DVDs can we make the robot accept before it becomes self-aware? And, as they say on YouTube, let us know in the comments, which is really just a formal way of saying, please amp up my interaction number so I can buy more weird things to fix. And speaking of letting us know things, let us know if you like the video by clicking that thumbs up button. If you want more retro tech restoration like this, hit subscribe. We're probably not going to make it to 500 million subscribers, but that's fine. We're building a smaller, stranger empire. Oh, and before I forget, please hit the notification bell if you enjoy being startled at 6 a.m. when we schedule the next premiere. It'll be worth it. Probably. Woot!
Worst royal mothers in history. Happy Mother's Day, everyone! Being a parent is hard, but compared to these momsters, the rest of us are doing all right. Parents and teenagers often struggle for power, but most moms don't frame their children for murder, starve them to death, or order their eyes gouged out. It's tough when your mother-in-law overstays her welcome, but she usually doesn't remain at your palace for 3 years while badgering you to go to war with her son. And many mothers encourage their children to date, but most don't force them into abusive relationships and become bridezilla at the wedding. Today, let's meet 4 of the worst royal mothers in history. Wu Zetian, Empress of China. Wu Mei was born into a wealthy family and sent to be a concubine to Emperor Taizong when she was 13. With hundreds of other consorts, she wasn't warming the old emperor's bed, but she did have a passionate affair with the heir to the throne. When Mei was 25, the emperor died. As a childless, widowed concubine, she was forced to shave her head and expected to live as a nun. But her former lover, now Emperor Gaizong, invited her back to court as one of his concubines. Mei soon gained favor and frequent nocturnal visits. She ranked just below the empress. Empress Wang had not delivered any children and grew jealous when Mei gave birth to a son and a daughter. Tragically, Mei's daughter died suddenly in her cradle. She accused the empress of using witchcraft to kill her baby. The emperor was furious, and according to legend, at Mei's